Good morning, everyone. Hope we're doing well. This fine, Tuesday morning. Should have Matthias joining us very shortly. I think he's just running a bit behind. Hope we're all well. First of all, if you haven't already, go and check out Defiant Company with Steve. I was on his show last night. Even if I do say so myself, it was a bloody fantastic conversation around the games. Steve went to the games to kind of be a spectator, to have a look, to understand from a different perspective than usual. He's one of these guys that just stands around, and as a vendor, you don't tend to get much experience other than saying hello to people when they come to your stand. And if you're busy, if you're luckily, fortunately, if you're busy and you're selling and you're speaking to people at your stand, it's a totally different experience than everyone else. But what an opportunity it is for people. So yeah, we had a chat around all that. And then this morning I have coached and been at the gym, and I heard my own voice and I heard people's voices in here during this workout. Because it was one of those workouts where it's just sucking ass. Lovely weather over here at the moment, so skier went outside, and it was a 20-minute AMRAP, and you could pick your mono. So whether it was run, row, ski, bike, whatever, not the C2 bike, because as far as I'm concerned, that's half a workout. Got no upper body going involved. Anyway, and yeah, 20-minute AMRAP of 500 meters on the machine or 400 run. And it was a minute mandatory rest between intervals. So you hit it hard and then rest a minute, see how you recover. And your score was as many rounds as you could do in the 20 minutes. I don't know about you, but halfway through 20 minutes, that's when it starts to get a bit shit. Or your glycogen's sort of starting to run out. You're relying on willpower and movement quality. But it's mono, so it's just grunt, and you have to keep telling yourself, and we talked about this a couple of times over the last sort of week or so, it's just discomfort, it's not pain, and you have to be there in the moment. You have to enjoy being there somehow. It's the worst thing in the world at the time. You're in extreme discomfort, you're not in a good place, all you'd want to do is stop, and yet you just find a way to keep going. And it's good training, it's good for this. You apply that outside of the gym walls. You start to apply it to real life, because let's face it, the gym isn't necessarily real life. It's a testing center, isn't it? It's a testing center for everything you do outside of the gym, whether it's nutrition, whether it's mental game, whether it's your movement, whether it's your recovery, your sleep, your hydration, whatever it might be. It's the testing center for that, which is why we all love the gym so much. But yeah, tough one. Booked a couple of shows for the next couple of weeks that I'm really excited about. So you may or may not know, I coach a couple of adaptive athletes. So for para bench, which is the Paralympic weightlifting event, is bench. It doesn't sit with powerlifting, it sits with weightlifting, and it's bench press. And I work with a couple of athletes over the last sort of year or so. So I've dipped my toe in there. We've gone to British nationals, we've competed internationally, and I've seen some amazing progress. And as a coach, and I say this from all the 1 year experience with working with adaptive properly as a, for a sport, I say, if you're a coach and you haven't had the opportunity yet to work with an adaptive athlete, do it. Like, find a way, whether it's volunteering, whether it's reaching out, whether it's finding people that are involved in the sport or your community that you feel like you can help. Reach out and get them in the gym. It's so fun figuring out shit. So we're trying to figure out in our gym accessory work for my client Claire, who is paralyzed below L3. And from the start, it's a trust exercise. It's I'm doing this to better you, but I'm also doing it because it's fun. It's really, really cool figuring out new stuff and trying new things. And we're in it together. And it's not just pull up progressions are A, B, C, D, E. It's right. How do we do a row without you coming out of your seat or your seat rolling forward? It's all these figuring out, and it's such a cool, thought-provoking, fun way of coaching that's so different to the regular style of coaching that we do at the affiliates. So I implore anyone out there to get involved with an adaptive athlete, and you will find it's fucking cool. So my point being, we have got Big Nige, coming on from Wodaptive. And Wodaptive is a pairs competition for para in the UK. Now, I spoke to Nigel briefly the other day about registering a client or two of mine, and one of the competitions is one adaptive person and one able-bodied person, so I can compete with Claire or Alfie or whoever it might be that I can beat, which is going to be amazing. I can't wait for that. Seeing how these competitions run, how well organized they are. So I've got Nigel on Sunday at this time on Sunday this week come in, which will be really cool. Gonna pick his brains. He is I believe the co-founder of Wodaptive, and he's an adaptive athlete himself. He competes. So I'm really interested in finding out and asking about the origins of the competition and the company, the goals for it, the programming, have they got Wheelwood involved at all, and athletes that they produce and that kind of thing, kit, like coming up with the new movements, because selfishly as a coach, I want to find out new ideas and things. So that would be a really cool thing. So that's Sunday this week. Coming up, and I've got Ed Morrison, Ed is seminar staff country manager in the US, in Australia. Sorry, so I've got Ed coming on the 24th, I believe it is, which is, let's have a look at the old diary, shall we? Let's have a looky hooky. 24th. Who I be to? 24th next Sunday. So Sunday this week, got Big Nige coming on. I don't know if he likes to be called Big Nige. I just call him Nigel. Got Nigel coming on Sunday, and then I've got Ed coming on the following Sunday. And I'm just trying to finalize a guest for next Tuesday, the 19th. Now, in local news, over here on the island, the Grand Prix starts on this Sunday. So everyone knows about the Manx TT or Ironman TT, which is a bike racing, which is fucking insane. And the Grand Prix is the amateur version. So you have to be an amateur driver, not part of a team, a professional rider. But they use the same bikes. They use the same teams. So the kit's the same. It's just the riders are going to be amateur, and anyone can enter. So imagine yourself deciding to jump in and get on the bikes and ride the circuit. Bonkers, right? They've also got, though, this year the Classic TT, which is the older bikes, the classic bikes, but they're allowing the professional drivers to ride them. So we've got all of the big names coming over back again after the TT to ride on the older bikes again. So it's going to be crazy. We've got, I think it's about 8 or 9 days. No, 12 days. It's got 12 days of racing again. So, and if you're not familiar with the how it all operates on the island, you've got the mountain course that goes around kind of centrally within, but it goes along, goes over the mountain, goes through Douglas, which is the capital, and around the island. It can take anywhere between 14 and 19 minutes to get around, depending on what bike and kit you're on, whether in your sidecars, which is where you got a bike where you lay down, and then a side piece, so to speak. And they clinging on for dear life, and they're weighing it and going on. They're not strapped in. If you haven't seen it, honestly, it's mad. What I'll do, I'll try if I can actually try and go live during that again. I found a spot this year, sorry, at the TT, and perched on with the family and watched the TT and watched the bikes going past, and that was a bit of an eye opener for a lot of people. They're hitting over 200 mile an hour as they're going around. Which, think about how you'd feel doing 200 on 4 wheels in a box, let alone outdoor clinging on to 2 wheels. It is utterly insane. And if anyone ever wants to come over and watch, just give me a shout. I'm more than happy to help out there. But yeah, we've got the Grand Prix on for 12-ish days. So that's going to be a nice, fun couple of weeks on the island. But midway through the Grand Prix is the deadline for the ticket giveaway for Coaches Congress. So I'm going to bring that up again. Where are we? Oh, blimey. That workout, there's workouts like for about an hour afterwards. You just, it's just a little bit hungover, let's call it. Right. Okay, so Coaches Congress. My video that went out, obviously they've only got options for 3 people at the top there. That's why I'm not there. But yeah, Matt Fraser, Rich Froning, Annie Thorsdaughter along the front there, basically saying what I'm about to say is anyone involved in our industry, and when I say our industry, wider industry. Now, I know that these are all games champs here, but Coaches Congress isn't necessarily just for CrossFit coaches. Any strength coach out there, get involved in these. They're popping up all over the show. We've got London. They've added in Madrid for early next year, I believe, which is a new one. And Henrik was on the show a couple of weeks ago and mentioned that they're in talks and trying to get one in the US. Now, that is going to be huge. I've already spoken to a lot of people and a lot of friends that I have in the US, and they're very keen. The good thing is about CrossFit is that we have a lot of passionate coaches that want to up their game. That's why we produce the best coaches, hands down. So yeah, Coaches Congress, you've got a lot of people going there. Now, the giveaway that I've got going is on my page. I won't show you the video. I'll mute it. But all you have to do to enter, comment on the post, tag your friend, and let us know why you think you should be going to the event. Now, I've had a few comments already, obviously. The deadline for that is on the 20th. You've got about another week. Next Wednesday at midnight it closes. So I'll be reposting again, probably today or tomorrow, just to remind people with a week's notice to get commenting and get nominating. It's at Twickenham on 4th and 5th. Twickenham, obviously the home of rugby, English rugby. In London, if anyone is outside of England, doesn't know about it, it's kind of near Wimbledon. Think about Wimbledon. It's around the corner, really. And yeah, the pairs of tickets will go to the people that we think, or Henrik and I feel deserve, have given the best answers to the question as to why they want to go. The tickets also include spectatorship of the Argentina South Africa rugby match at Twickenham on the Saturday. I think it's between 2 and 4. So there'll be a break from the conference. We'll go Congress. We'll go outside. We'll watch the rugby match and then come back in and carry on. I mean, amazing. And also Benitez, who Matthias is from, owns. There's a pair of shoes with each ticket as well, the ones. So that's going to be amazing as well. It's such a cool giveaway. And again, the speakers, the talkers, the roundtables, the workshops, the coaching, the workouts, all the people that are attending, not necessarily speaking, the conversations that we can have and you can have when you go are going to be unparalleled. There's very few opportunities. Now, I spoke with Steve last night, and we've been talking about this for a little while now. Some affiliate owners or coaches or managers, rightly or wrongly, believe that CrossFit don't do enough. There isn't options out there. They feel alone. They don't feel like they're connected and that kind of thing, which is easily done. Easily done when you're working your ass off from 5 o'clock in the morning to 10 o'clock at night. Got your own family. You're in the middle of nowhere and you feel like all alone. Competitions and these events are where you go. These are where you meet halfway. These are where the people come. These are where you can have the conversations. These are where the seminar and the country managers are. These are where the industry leaders are. This is where you go to up your game, to feel connected and to level up your gym, to have a spark again, to feel reconnected and part of what we offer. So if you are one of those people, or you know one of those people, and you think that they feel like they need to reconnect, get them in contact, get them involved, send them the link, get them contacting, and the tickets will go to the best, to the people that we feel really deserve them. But yeah, Coaches Congress, let's make it happen. What else have we got to talk about today? My video's still rolling. So I had Gretchen on, Kittelberger from IF3 last week. Now, I had quite a few messages about that, which is awesome, which is great. And quite a lot of people didn't know about it, which is surprising to me in some respects. For a lot of people, it's a unique selling point is you get to represent your country. You get to go to the country level and then a regional level and the international level and to represent your country. How cool is that? And the Norwegian story that Gretchen said was amazing. All of the athletes on the team that won the games this year are part of the Norwegian Functional Fitness Federation and compete for them. And this is all grassroots coming through now. And because the Norwegian government have adopted the NF3 as an official sport, so they can get funding and they can get in there. If you're someone that's passionate about developing the sport side of functional fitness in your country, why not get involved? Why not see how you can help that? It's cool. It's a really good opportunity. Now, that is sports side. Now, I want to talk about CrossFit. Where is it? So one thing that we have been talking about, wanting, crying out for, however you want to phrase it. Hello, Kenneth. Hope you're well. One thing that we've been asking for the longest time is one, media that represents the whole of CrossFit, and two, media that represents the whole of CrossFit. And yesterday's launch did that, and I'm really fucking happy. And the other thing that I'm really pleased about is go through the comments. Have a look at the post that were put out yesterday, the CrossFit is the Cure post. Have a look at the comments. Everyone, breath of fresh air. This is what we need. More, more, more. Love this. All the bloody fire emoji shit. But everyone involved with CrossFit is ecstatic and say, yeah, exactly. Right. So hang on. I'll show you the sentiment that Chase has put. Let me give that a like. Yeah. Finally, the post we've been waiting for. All of these comments, as you read them, we're back. We're so back. Yep. Let's go. Get in there. It's Jenna and the team that have done this. It's awesome. It's great. It's exactly what we need, and more of it. That all the other good things. So speaking as a not that I am, but speaking as an affiliate owner, you've got all the brand assets now. So in the portal, you're logging in. We've seen this with other companies in the past, which is so good to see. I worked at BMW, the car company, for don't know why I had to clarify that. Been there company for 18 months, just out of uni. So 21 till 23-ish. And this was 2006. And they had full brand assets that were malleable. You type in, it would populate with your dealership name, the individuals, whatever you wanted to do. And it would just go straight to print and it would be done for you. As a marketing tool, brand assets that are uniform across the board are instrumental, and it's showing that HQ is giving people and affiliate member owners what they wanted, the marketing tools, which is awesome, and tools that reflect the wording and what we want to talk about. Now, whether this statement is true or not, I don't suppose it matters really, but I can't help but think that this is through pressure from third parties that are trying to do the same thing as we do. It's external pressure has built this idea, this language that we want to repush what we are. And I said to Steve yesterday, we're back. We're unashamedly saying what we do is a cure for the world's most vexing problem, but it requires a lot of fucking hard work. And we are here for anyone, not everyone, but anyone, and we know it, and we're confident because we've seen it work thousands, maybe millions of times. I've said this before. I've coached over 20,000 hours of CrossFit now since 2012. The amount of people that I've seen or coached or been or helped, whatever it is, the proof is there. That is proof for me. I have observable, measurable, repeatable proof that the methodology, my L1 book's right there under a pack, the methodology works, and it doesn't matter where you start. Whether you're an 80-year-old that's never been to the gym and can't sit down properly on your own, whether you're a 16-year-old elite level gymnast, whether you're morbidly obese, whether you've had eating disorders and you're frail, whether you're a 40-year-old mum of two that feels just knackered, whether you're an elite 30-year-old woman who's just insanely good at moving, whether you've got one leg, whether you're in a wheelchair, it doesn't fucking matter where you start. CrossFit will meet you where you're at and challenge you. It will challenge you to get better. And the only thing that we require is hard work and discipline. That's all we ask. I've got shirts from the OG culture with Chase and Bill, and it just says, just show up. Just show up. That's all we need for you. To start with, you just got to get to the gym. That's all we need. And all these marketing tools, inclusive marketing tools, I know people don't like hearing it, but if you show real people in your media and your marketing, real people will show up. If all you ever do is show abs, chests, glutes for days, people doing 5-minute miles and snatching 100 million kilos, that's the people you're going to get majority of the time. But these assets come out and they are bridging the gap. If you look really carefully, you'll see everyone represented in that media. And for people sat at home seeing that or on their phone, whether on the train, on the bus or whatever, and they see someone that looks like them, they think, ah, I can do that, because they see themselves in that person. And it's so fucking important for that. It's really important. People that don't get that probably aren't in a position like that. Um, and that's just one layer. The marketing is so important because it shows everyone. Visually you see everyone, kind of. And two, it preaches our message. We've got the cure, and it's not the easy fix. This is the hard route, but it's worth it. We have the cure. We know what we're doing. We've got enough years now where we know what we're doing. We have the proof. And we challenge people to work on themselves and work hard. And they'll get the results. Now, what can we do better let's say we've got 10,000 affiliates, right? Let's just say, for example, we've got 10,000 affiliates. What can we do as 10,000 affiliates better? For me, there's a few things, but for me, the biggest driver of change with your current members, the biggest single factor, will be better coaches. That's the biggest one. But there's obviously many. As a methodology, what do we omit more than everything else? The nutrition. That's the one thing that, if we're being real, if we keep it real, most affiliates neglect the nutrition discussions, the nutrition setting, the goal setting, the experts in their field helping discuss that. And that's one thing that I'm really looking forward to in October at the Coaches Congress. Hearing from some of the industry leaders that are going to be there talking, I'm going to pick their brains. I'm still figuring out. So Yoni Clark, John Clark, as he's actually known, will be joining me. Will be coming along, and we've got an idea. We've got a really strong idea about some media we're going to make, which is going to be exciting. And some of it will be obviously going on here. Some of it will be on the other channel. But we're really looking forward to it. And I think what can come out of it. And I was going to speak to Matthias. I'm not sure he's going to be joining me today. One thing that will hopefully come out of it is a refocus potentially on, and us highlighting what we've got going on as a community, but also what opportunities there are. I was going to ask Matthias today. That was what I was going to say. One, if he liked the brand campaign that came out yesterday, what he thought about it. But also who his target audience is. So there's a trickle down effect with their branding, I think, and their marketing. I watched the show with Pedro a little while ago. It was before the French, so we're looking at end of March time. And Benitez do a lot of work with events. Headline sponsor of Hyrox in Spain, obviously headline sponsor of CrossFit Games, Turf Games. The list goes on. There's so many events and so many athletes that they look for. So he has seen, and very successfully seen, go for the tip of the spear and see the trickle down effect. That was one thing that I was going to pick his brains about, and I'm sure I will when we speak. Um, I think that can work for third parties quite well, but I don't think it works fully for the affiliates. That's my take. Another question I was going to ask Matthias is about, as a European, how would you like to see CrossFit evolve? Does he think it's global yet? Which I think is a question that would be have different answers from people from outside the US. But that's the point in this show, European base. Yeah, cool. So I've blabbed on for half an hour. I will find out when we can go again with Matthias. He's a very busy man, very, very, very busy. So unless anyone's got any questions, I will say ta-ta, but remember to get some entries in for the Coaches Congress. Keep an eye out on the shows. I've got Nigel on Sunday morning. Got Ed Morrison the following Sunday. I will try to put out some content around the Grand Prix, get some video footage and talk about that a little bit, because they are just insane athletes, just like the F1 and racing drivers of all sorts. They're athletes, whether you like it or not. Lady Heavy Lifts, last name. Has anyone had issues ordering from Benitez? I was able to order, but then days later, my friend said she couldn't ship to her address, and my order hasn't shipped yet. Cool. I will make sure that I ask about deliveries. Now, sorry, I don't know your name. For some reason, the handles are coming up rather than people's actual names, so apologies about that. I'm not going to make excuses for a company that I'm not involved with. I would imagine though that post games, everything's a bit of a flurry, a lot of travel time between the staff because they are relatively small still. I would ask where your friend lives. Now I know all about living somewhere where they don't ship. 'Cause on the island, half companies that you go to order from will refuse to deliver here, even though we still use the raw mail and it goes through the same system. They just haven't clicked a box on the back end of their systems. I'm unsure if it was. Oh, you're in the US. Okay. No, they should. They should. They should deliver to the US. Was she on the? This is going to sound stupid. Was she on the right website, as in the US website rather than the European one? Because we get that all the time. I'll go onto Reebok or Nike or whatever. I'll go to order. It'll say I can't order, and then you'll see the flag, and it'll say that I'm on the US website. So I know your friend's probably a lot more intelligent than I am, so it probably isn't the case. But no, I'd imagine that they. Well, that's one of their biggest markets, I'd have thought. So yeah. But in terms of your order not shipping yet, I would probably hazard a guess and say it's probably something to do with the games and the knock-on effect of stock and the deliveries. Because you've got to think, as a headline sponsor, they've probably had a hell of a lot of orders. So they've probably backlogged a little bit. So it's probably why Matthias isn't on today. Probably catching up with all that. Okay, yeah, I'm like I said, I'm sure your friend's a lot more intelligent than me and doesn't go all the way through to check out and then find out. But yeah, all good, all good. Right, awesome. So what I'm keen on doing over the next few weeks is getting in contact with. I haven't had any affiliate owners on recently. Um, bit like me then. You've always got to have a friend like that. People that carefree. Yes, affiliate owners. I'm really keen to get some affiliate owners on, to pick their brains. And the other, I'm very busy September, October, by the way. I'm very, very busy. Yeah, I'm really busy. I'm really cool. Um, on where are we? The 20th and the 21st of September, I'm in London for Coaches Ed. Um, I had the ladies on from Coaches Ed, oh, probably what, April, May time, I think. So a few months ago now. I'm talking about Coaches Ed. Really, really cool setup and program, wanting to develop coaches already at a certain level in their coaching career and knowledge, gathering them around, getting people into a gym setting rather than a congress. It's a gym setting on the gym floor, coaching and going through honing in our craft. And I'm always keen to do that and see that, because if you're passionate about what you do, it sounds cliche. It sounds like one of those things that one of those fucking Instagram gurus says about, but it truly is right in our game. You need to break away from the kitchen floor, let's say. You need to get out of the pressure cooker and you need to be able to listen, learn, and be coached to get better at your craft. You have to do that. And anyone that refuses to do that or doesn't keep up with the newest information or network and listen to people talking that have got more experience than them, you've always got to question those people that don't want to do that. They think they're past it. They think they know everything. You clearly don't. Don't let that ego get in the way, because we require people to be coached when they come in the gym. We require them. It's a requirement of what we do. Now, we'd be complete hypocrites if we refuse to also receive coaching. So yeah, Coaches Ed, it looks bloody awesome. Actually, let me pull it up because Coaches Ed. It's hosted at Sleven. Sleven, by the way, is SL11, which is the postcode in London where the gym is. That's how the name Sleven comes around. Fun fact for you there. Yeah, Coach said, here we go. So, workshops, mentoring, and endorsed by Kim Spa. Not Kim's Spa, but Kim's Spa. So, yeah, this will be in September time. By invite only. So I'm really looking forward to this. I'll have a month of a lot of education, and I'm really grateful that this opportunity by being on here has given me these sort of opportunities and friends and people that I can go and learn from, which is great. What else have we got coming up? I've got the British weightlifting junior champs in early September. I'm coaching Harold, young Harry, who's part of our squad. British champ under 15, under 17, just saying. Then we've got Coaches Congress, and then we've got a busy time. I've got my High Rocks with Yoni Boy on the 23rd of October, which is not long now, actually. And then we've got Rogue. Ooh-wee. Now, we have put more requests in for media because you don't find out until September. So you don't find out about 6 weeks before the event. Now, we want to go, and I don't know whether or not I've got to buy a spectator ticket or not. It'd be handy to know before September if anyone's listening in. We might have a really fucking good team, you know, up there. We're trying to figure all of it out at the moment. But what I loved about the games coverage this year, and I spoke about this yesterday with Steve, is the hype between the events. Usually, and this is no disrespect to the commentators on the CrossFit channel, the official CrossFit channel, We usually get the first, say if there's 3 heats, we usually get the first 2 heats are relatively quiet. Um, good. Can't wait for Rogue. Um, Usually we get the first 2 heats are dead quiet, and we just get the mic person on the floor chatting away. Yeah, blah, blah, hit free, and then Chase Adrian or Sean Woodland, Barnhard. It's Barnhard in lane 5. We get that for the final heat. But in between, it's just that kind of cheesy, unlicensed rock music thing that goes on. And then we get a voice now and again. What Sevi and Garrett and John Young and JR and all the others and Pedro and everyone gave us was basically from Friday morning our time all the way through to afternoon our time, all the way through to Sunday night, was a constant stream of content and questioning and discussion and fun and real shit between events that led us and got us excited, rather than just having to wait around, check the stream. Is it live? No. When's it going to go? Dunno. Like, we had a constant stream, and that was what gave us people that were remotely viewing it and trying to get involved. It gave us that opportunity. And I keep saying this, but Garrett's input was fucking instrumental. She was us, but there. She was asking the right questions that we wanted to know. Like, are his underpants the right underpants? That would have just been me. Garrett wouldn't have asked that. But real questions. I don't know if you have this or had it in the US, but football matches or soccer, on Sky Sports, which is the main sports channel over here, we used to have a button that we could press on the controller. It was called Fan Zone, and it would be fans of the teams playing doing the commentary instead of the slick, neutral commentators with that voice. Yeah. Without that, just fans doing the commentary. And it was so damn popular because it was real, it was raw, it was passionate, it was totally biased. I would love to see that. I would love to see biased commentary because I think it's really cool. And I don't know if you guys have, you probably have, you fucking invented media. But I think it's one thing that we've lacked for the longest time is unbiased media. We talk about in our media gone out. Yeah, it would be. We talk about like the media going out, and we've got the cure. It's hard work, but fuck the easy route. Like, we're unashamedly raw and passionate about what we do. Why not have that like on the commentary as well? And me and Jon want to kind of, we want to do that at Rogue. We're playing around with this idea of just being completely biased. Like, if there's like 10 lanes and someone is crushing it that we don't like, we will say, no, have a rest, put the bar down. Like, getting them slow down, or verbally, just obviously outwardly not wanting that person to win, and then cheering for the guy in the other, or the woman in the other lane that we want to win. But that's cool because that's what we do at home. That's what we do. That's real. It's not this polished, slick, neutral thing. And analyzing it. Yeah, do you know what? It used to be so cool. It was on Sky Sports. You press the red button, it would go through. You'd pick the match that you were watching, and it might be Manchester United versus Liverpool. And in the same room, you would have a Liverpool supporter, a diehard Liverpool supporter, and diehard Man United supporter, and they would have a mic, and they would be going at it on the commentary the whole time, and they would be jumping up and screaming at the other fan, and it's cool because it's so like, CrossFitters we're raw, we're chalk and spit and sawdust, we're dark gyms, we're getting mucky and going and shit. We want that, and we're used to that unpolished. If you want polished, go to F45. If you want clean cut, go to Orange Theory. If you want real, just hard fucking work, you go to a CrossFit gym. And I think the media should represent that a little bit better rather than just clean cut. And I know that's what gets the views. I know that, and I said this before, it's no dig whatsoever at the people that do it because it's necessary. We need that clean cut, polished approach. But can you imagine how cool it would be to have the opposite? And that's what Jon and I are hoping to do. Because as Brits, like Americans, I think will understand this when I say like Australians and Brits, we have to you guys, we're very similar, vocally, we sound very similar, but we also have a very well connected type of language, as in the words that we use. We're very fruitful with our language, and the tone and the humor, and I think that could be something that we can add. We can add that value. We can add that as an option. Now, it might get 10 views, but for us, we'll have a lot of fun doing it. And when we're watching matches, have a think about American sports, the NFL. Like, think about if you and your family are sat on a sofa watching it. Are you going to be clean cut? Are you going to be unbiased? Are you going to be neutral? No, of course not. You're gonna fucking go to town for your team. And I think that could be a really good thing. It's funny, isn't it, how that's the complete polar opposite of coaching. But that's what we've got. That's the whole thing of CrossFit is we can do everything. We've got different hats and we can apply them. So yeah. Anyway, that's Rogue. That's obviously Halloween weekend. Again, I'm trying to fit in a Halloween theme to it, but we don't really do Halloween too much in the UK. However, where I'm at the moment, or where I am permanently now, Isle of Man, it's called Hopchinay. It's the original. I think it was Ireland had the original All Souls celebration. Yeah, exactly right. But yeah, the kids rather than pumpkins, is turnips, which is weird. There's songs. It's called Hopchinay. It's an old festival at the start of winter and All Souls. And obviously All Souls adapted it, but it was previously the Celtic cultures before Christianity came over. Anyway, it's boring history. Well, not to me, but maybe to you. But yeah, Halloween we'll try and fit in. So I'm sure Rogue will do that as well. So have some sort of Halloween theme going on. And you know what? Not long after that, it's Christmas, is it? We're into November then. Fucking hell, this years just go fly by. And also Christmas is going to be slightly busy for me because I've got my third child being born. Hang on. There we go. Give it one of them. But yeah, that'll be fun. It'll be good. So yeah, right. I'm prattling on now. Unless anyone's got anything they want to talk about. I have got a teens summer lifting camp starting today. So that'll be fun. I've broken it down into the different barbell movements. You can do an hour on each, and then we're going to test them at the end of a couple of weeks or 3 weeks, sorry. I don't get to coach teens enough in a teen environment at the moment. So it'll be fun to be able to do that because I think they're the boys are coaching teen boys is something else. Me. Communication level is basically minimal, grunting, and if you get one, whereas the girls are a little bit more responsive. It's always fun, and you can have a lot of fun with those classes. Do you know what happened the other day, actually? Teens class. This lad came in and he had his phone in his hand and I was doing the briefing and I won't say his name, but let's call him Kenneth because Kenneth said, Kenneth, can you, do you mind, are you expecting a call? No. I was like, well, can you go and put your phone down over there? Like, how will I know the time? That's not a reason to be holding on to your phone, mate. So he went and put it down. But that kind of that kind of relationship you can have as a 40-year-old dad who's coaching with teen boys, it's so much fun. You can wind them up, and I get into that age now where I'm just thinking about winding people up constantly, especially teenagers, because they deserve it. And it's a rite of passage. I went through it. They deserve it. Kids are at jiu-jitsu at the moment, actually, which is good for them. And my boy went to, oh, I'll tell you what, I will put it up because it's awesome. My boy went to an army camp last week, and he's going again tomorrow. I'll put up a little video that I've made. Where is it? Oh, and also we went stock car racing. We didn't go in the cars. We went to the stock car races on Sunday. That was so good. Just cars smashing into each other because it's fun. It's so cool. Let me sit in my kids' class. I have 16-year-olds. Yeah, 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 yeah. Well, that's the lovely thing about like the my daughter's 8, and I think she's at the point where she's able to ask questions that are actually coherent. They're really malleable still. They're really coachable. They haven't hit puberty yet, so they haven't hit that grumpy phase, and they want to learn, and it's really cool. I love that. And then so the age group that you've said about 8 to 16, I'd imagine there's quite a big difference in the learning styles and everything. Where are we? Let's send that. Just want to put up a picture of the clobber that my son was in. So, where are we? Let's put that there. Bibbity. Where are we? There we go. Right. Let me pull up. Window. There we go. There he is. So he's 6. And on the island, we are fortunately, because we're not part of the UK, we have our own legislation. And what happens when I open WhatsApp? Gun ownership and carry is legal here, so it's very different from the rest of the UK. So the kids can get involved with this early. And these camps, he basically goes there all day. So he's there from 9 till 4. And it's laser at this. Obviously, they're not shooting each other with fucking guns. But they do axe throwing. I mean, he's 6 and he was throwing axes. Axe throwing. And they have these massive battles with laser guns through the woods. And it's bloody awesome. So that was fun. He's going again tomorrow, which is pretty cool. Finding something you loved. So, oh, there's some stuff for my wife. I got the sizes wrong, and return process couldn't have been easier. Awesome. That's good to hear. That's great to hear, Kev the Rev. I had a kid the other day. Biff the box of, oh God. Yeah. I just showed him his official. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's a rite of passage. We've all got those scars down our shins. You haven't. You're not one of us. 16 rounds. Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting to see. It will be interesting to see how the development, because I think the kids, like, let's take the 16-year-olds now. They've only known iPads, iPhones, social medias. They've only known that. You know, they were born in when it was its heyday. It'll be interesting to see when they are a bit older and they have kids, about their tolerance for giving their kids screens, whether or not they feel like it was a they benefited from or not. Hard work is always going to be hard work, though. Gym is always going to be gym. CrossFit will stand the test of time. That's what's beautiful about it. It won't change. It's the same. We can get incrementally. We can grow. We can build on what we have. We can build third parties. We have amazing opportunities. Yeah, VR scares the shit out of me. I'm being perfectly honest. Because it leads down the road of whether or not we're in a simulation. Have you heard that? Have you heard that theory? I will butcher it to pieces, but I'll bring it up. I can't remember the science. Someone in here that's a lot cleverer than me will talk about it. Yeah, Black Mirror. The simulation theory. The question, the hypothesis of, is this a simulation? And this very, very intelligent philosopher said, well, there's three options to that answer. There's three answers to that question. One is, yes, we are in a simulation. Two is, no, we're not in a simulation. But he said the odds of this not being a simulation are infinitely smaller than the odds of us being in a simulation. Because if we look at the trajectory of technology, one day, you've got to believe that one day the technology will be so damn good that you do not know the difference between reality and simulation. If you imagine, even if it's in 50,000 years' time, think about the development of technology in the last 10 years, right? Think about technology in 50,000 years or a million years, right? Go mental with whatever time frame you want to do it. At some point, if we survive, we will get there. Now, if that happens, if you've watched Rick and Morty and the box universe principle, if that technology comes around, people will make an infinite amount of universes within that technology because they can. They'll create one. And then in that creation, they will create them. And it's bing, 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 and it goes on forever. There's infinite amount of these simulation universes. That's the first option. The second option is we just destroy each other and we never get to that point. Or the third option, and this is where the odds come against us, this is a scary bit, is that imagine the amount of virtual universes that will be made in a million years' time. What are the odds that we are in the original one? The odds are stacked firmly against us. So the odds are really is that this isn't the original universe, that we are in a simulation buried among levels of simulations and simulations. But anyway, thanks for joining me, guys. That's why I don't really think about virtual reality too much, because virtual reality starts that road down there. And I'm sure, yeah, version 1.0, what are the chances of us being the OG original version 1 in using that logic of technology evolving to the point where simulation is unidentifiably the same as reality? Yeah, anyway. As a kid, I'm sure when I was a kid, I haven't made this up. I had a game in an arcade where I put a helmet on, and I was like, I'm sure that happened. Virtual, it's like the 3D thing at the cinema, isn't it? theaters, the 3D glasses and all that shit. It comes in waves and it goes again, it goes come back, goes away. Virtual reality, like I haven't used them. Is it the Oculus? There's PlayStation have got one, and other people have got one where the virtual reality. But my friend's got one, and he said it's starting to really get quite scarily real. And you see the videos, don't you? People jumping back and falling over when they're playing games and stuff like that. It's just for me, it's a little bit too dystopian. But fun all the same. There we go. Right. Oh God, Kenneth, you're a dad. Kevin, I don't know if you're a father yet or not. One role that I accept, but I don't enjoy, is being the police. So I've just had a message from my wife saying they're mucking around. Can you have a word when they get home? So now, when they get home, I got to be the enforcer. Ugh, that hat in it. I've got to put that hat on for a little while. And where we homeschool as well, it's I was saying this yesterday actually to the people that are on summer holidays with their kids saying, "Oh, I'm going to have to book them into this," or "It's really hard being fun all the time, and I want to be the fun parent, but I can't." And they're here all day, and I'm like, "Fuck me, you're preaching to the choir here." You just find routine with it. The hardest bit about all of this homeschooling is you got to determine when your teacher or where your dad, uh, like when they're sat down doing maths or English studies or science or whatever. It's really tough initially, anyway, to make sure that they understand that you're in a different role. Um, but you're obviously the same person. It's challenging, but it's like being a coach in the gym and partaking in the class or being part of a community. If you do it right, it's fun, but it's hard. Yeah, it has to be done. And I was saying this to someone probably about a week ago. No, it wasn't. It was on the weekend. My wife is 20 weeks pregnant and she's there at a food market selling away stuff that she's baked and done herself. Homeschool too, maybe started crying before you. Yeah. And is how much of a summer holiday do you give them when all the other kids are off school? Like my answer to that is, well, you can still continue to do a little bit of work throughout the summer. Like, you're not getting out of it. Exactly. It's communication. That's what it is. But yeah, my wife, 20 weeks pregnant, working hard, baking all day. She loves the kitchen. She loves cooking. She's an incredible mum. She plays that female house leader role incredibly, just natural to her. It's what she does. It's who she is. And she just so happens to be a retired Olympic athlete with an insane work ethic who I fancy the pants off. Like, what more could I want as a dad? But with that, she's doing that to perfection. And that drives me to want to be driving towards perfection as a dad as well, because I have to match that energy. She's forcing me, which I like, which is pretty cool when you see your partner working hard. There's nothing for me, there's nothing more attractive than hard work. And seeing your partner working hard is so cool. It's like, yeah, you're one of us, aren't you? And I get to be spurred on by you, which is awesome. Anyway, enough about that. I hope you enjoyed the show. It's all year round. It doesn't have to be 8 hours a day all year round. It can be an hour, it can be half an hour on a certain day. There's freedom with homeschooling. That's the beauty of it. If you know as a parent, if they're not in the fucking mood to learn, do what you can, move on, save it for tomorrow when they are in the mood for it. That's the beauty of it. It's malleable to an extent. But like you said, year round, baby. Right. Have an amazing day, everyone. I will change the thumbnail for this. Probably should. But yeah, have an amazing day. Thanks for joining me, everyone. Sevi's on at 3, I believe. Who have we got today? Can't remember. But have fun, and I will see you on Causing Havoc in the chat soon. Thank you very much. Bye for now.